Hey, Marianne. You look like shit.
Now, I don't normally do horror titles. Hell, I stay pretty far away from anything scary. I've been known to dabble into the Resident Evil series lightly, with 2, 3, and 7, and The Evil Within is one of my favorite games. Now, while this isn't 100% a horror title, it does have some good suspense moments and a unique method of storytelling. But sadly, it falls a bit flat in other areas. During this review, I will be doing my best to keep away from anything spoiler related, but just understand some story elements will have to be revealed. The story starts off with our main character, Marianne, recapping the events about to be played out. We quickly learn that Marianne has a connection to the spirit realm, and sadly helps her father figure, Jack, who adopted her, pass to the other side. She then gets a phone call from someone named Thomas that mentions that he knows what she is, and asks for help to visit a place called Niwa Resort, or hotel, depending on how you want to look at it. It tends to be a resort. Marianne quickly heads to Niwa, and she's met by a spirit named Sadness, and starts to discover the dark and twisted path that Niwa had. When it comes to gameplay, it vaguely reminds me of Murdered Soul Suspect and The Sinking City. Both are games that I really enjoyed, by the way. You're walking around, inspect items, and solve rather simple puzzles. Going around and reacting to posters and notes left behind from some of the workers adds that little line of detail that really makes the world feel alive. Or in this case, a little more dead. However, this method does take a bit of toll on you. You know what to expect from beginning to end when it comes to entering new rooms. Just keep walking around the room until you find items to inspect, and keep doing this until you get all the items. Now, with that being said, the split screen spirit world is such a great element here. I love it. There are times that items can only be seen or interacted in the spirit world. Other times you must leave your body and travel to a specific spot in the world in a limited amount of time. Honestly, this gimmick is the best thing about the game. There's just something so neat to watch yourself in a session while interacting in both worlds. There's times that Marianne is interacting in the spiritual world, but the physical world looks like she's holding nothing. Just seeing that uneasy surroundings in the spirit world just sets the tone differently when you're setting it right next to the physical one. Graphically speaking, the game has some really good looking points and a lot of average points. The details normally look pretty good, from bloodstains on the walls to rusting metal in the pool area. There are some muddy textures and details in the world, few darker areas. The lighting and particle effects are pretty solid. Cutscenes show off well and look great. However, in the gameplay parts, the same can't be said for Marianne. She moves stiff, lifeless, like a robot. It just doesn't look natural. Honestly, I really loved Marianne's actress. She made the role hers. The lines were delivered with some great character and a bit of sarcasm. Many laughable points that really added to the personality. There were times that I actually felt like she was talking like me, kind of that sarcastic tone in the world, and it just made me laugh. The enemies were decently voice acted and had a bit of demonic undertones that flowed really well. Occasionally, specifically near the end, I did feel like some of the lines of emotion just felt read off a page or phoned in. It just didn't have the same emotion near the end. Sound effects were really good. Creaking floors, footsteps, and just noises around the world just hit the spots that were required. The rustling of leaves, walking on certain textures on the ground. Or again, when you had these enemy encounters, you would hear them around corners sometimes, or clopping around. Or when the main villain is talking, it did just give you these chills because of his tonality.
You don't care. Clever little skin suit.
To kind of wrap things up, honestly, this review took me way too long to write. Mainly because I just felt so let down by the ending. The ending was so uneventful that it made the full journey seem like a waste. You could easily replace Marianne with any Jane Doe and kept the story 99% the same. Up until the last hour of the game, it was solid. Good atmosphere, good characters, And I love this dual screen idea. Okay, graphics, sound, and world, but that ending, just info dumped in the last hour and tried to make you quickly care about it. And it just doesn't work. It's aggravating in some points because you were hoping for a different build-up, and this just didn't do it for me. I have a hard time recommending this game at the full price of $50. Well, I do like the new IP and concepts. The medium does an okay job. It had some rough patches and a few strange puzzles on it with a wedged-in ending. If anything, I recommend going and subscribing to Game Pass, playing it that way, because you can get tons of great games on there, and that's not a plug for Game Pass, it's the truth. Play it on there, because at that point, it's not too bad, because it's kind of bundled in with everything else. Just, again, I hate telling people about this ending, but just be careful, because don't set yourself up wrong. It's just disappointing. And there you have it. That's my review over the medium. If you want to see some gameplay footage, click the link to your left. That'll take you to a running playlist that I finished up. And if you like what you see and you want to see some more, click the link to your right. That'll take you to the channel itself, where I have tons of videos going on over there. Until next time, you guys, stay frosty.